I've been super excited about for a long time, and it finally arrived.
And it is...
Wonderland's War. There's the game.
So,
a beautiful picture matching the cover
24
of the
doesn't
box.
seem so bad. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. Yes. Yes. These are fantastic.
So it's
this is the very
Mad
large
Tea Party table.
So I will say this color palette is absolutely breathtaking.
I mean, everything about this is absolutely beautiful.
Hello everyone, today we got to play Wonderland Wars. This is a press your luck area control game, but before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Robert, can you tell us more about Wonderland Wars?
I sure can. So, Wonderland's War came out this year, 2022. Not everybody has their copy yet, but it's slowly getting to everybody. So overall rank is 2,705, but it's getting a really good rating. People are really enjoying it at 8.5 or 8.5. It's designed by Tim and Ben Eisner and Ian Moss. Art by Manny Tremblay. Just saying it's gorgeous, as you'll find out. Published by Druid City Games and Skybound Games. Now, we got different prices. So the Kickstarter price was about $115 before shipping.
This is for the deluxe copy. There's they had a retail version that was without some of the upgrades.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Well, Geek Market had it range anywhere between 145 to 170. I'm assuming those are going to be Kickstarter versions as well. And the Game Steward, which I know you can buy the Kickstarter version, $169.99, but you have to pay an additional $19.99 for the Kickstarter add-ons. So.
Yeah. All right. So, Randy, why did you decide to back this Kickstarter? I know there's a lot of...
I wonder
why.
Obvious question.
Because
but
it's Alice.
If anybody knows Randy...
Yeah. Alice, and I've always loved Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and the characters are just, so brilliantly crafted in the books. And, this doesn't use John Tenniel's art, which I always loved that from the books, but I do like this art. It has poker chips. Everybody knows I love poker chips too. They're not full size, they're smaller chips. But yeah, just everything about this game. This was like the perfect game for me.
All right.
That's why I had
so let's talk about quality of components. You already started touching base with the poker chips. So basically, there are a lot of miniatures that are available. I assume this isn't the Kickstarter version only.
The retail has standees.
Yes. I remember seeing them.
I didn't even punch them because all of the pieces.
Yeah, then again, another add-on is these beautiful poker chips that were already stickered, so Randy didn't have to do like the anti-sticker movement.
Yeah, although I did have one that I dropped on the floor and the sticker popped off. So that was a little frustrating. So,
well, don't drop nice pieces.
I know. I mean, it was not intentional, but it could easily happen. There's a ton of these little bits, and they could easily fall off your table. And that's what happened.
Did you just pop it back in?
I pushed on it and held it back on, but it's a sticker, so who knows how long it'll stay.
You didn't put a little bit of adhesive on it? Or
no, I just pushed it and pressed it hard, and it stayed. So it could fall back off again.
Right.
It's just, that'll be a little ding on the quality.
It would have been a negative, requires actually putting stickers on, automatic negative.
Yes.
2,000 points.
Card quality, there is a linen finish on them. I think they're good thickness. Overall,
they were curling a little bit, though.
Yeah. Well, especially the small cards. Mm-hmm. These were curling more than anything.
No, I think the Quest cards actually curled more of those standard size cards. The tarot cards are actually fine.
Yeah, they are.
I think the Quest ones were the worst offenders. But they're not bad. I mean, they're still all linen finished, and
it sleeves will fix it just fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to sleeve it because this is just beautiful.
Yeah.
So then you've got your wooden workers, but you also have these. I think they're resin castles, and each player has different castles that they're going to be putting on or homes. Like I said, we have a bunch of different miniatures. We have these crystals that are used for things. So they're
and one die.
Yeah, one die. And it is unique to the game.
The bags.
Oh,
the bags are
is the
They're
bags.
beautiful. They're all
The bags are
custom for each player.
And the best part is the rounded bottom, so you
Yeah.
can set it down with the stuff in it, and it will sit up.
It's so nice when they think actually about
Yeah.
functionality on bags. So given that thought, this game is breathtaking. 10 on the breathtaking
Well, we
factor.
left off the storage. The storage was really well done.
Yes.
Everything has components that and it tells you where to put them in the box, which I liked on the side of the box.
Yeah.
And the poker chip storage is amazing. It's a big big size, full size box, but it opens up. It's got magnetic
That is
seal,
super cool.
and it's got on there where everything goes right here on the cover. It's
Not enough
well
people
made.
do this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's very well made.
So, I mean, overall quality. I mean, literally, if you see this from across the way, you're going to come check this game out. There is
Absolutely.
no way that you're not going to. I think the quality is really well done.
The table presence
Yeah.
is just amazing.
Yes. So, I do agree with you on the 10. As far as quality of pieces,
Yeah, I mean,
10.
that one sticker issue is the only thing that's kind of dinged it a little bit. I'm going to go 9.999995.
Really? For what?
It
For
rounds
what?
up.
Everything else, it doesn't. It's a 10.
Yeah, but if you drop a normal game and it's poker chips on it, that poker chip, if that one poker chip falls, it's not going to have a sticker fall off.
You are whack. That's
But
all I'm saying.
I get it. It's rounds up to 10. I mean, it was like...
no, it don't count.
Okay. All right. So let's then talk about theme. Yes, like you get your own storybook. There's actually a
there's a
storybook
book of
to
the scheme.
explain the war. So, and then with the artwork, the beauty of it. I mean, this is really it draws
All the
you
mechanics
in.
fit the theme.
Yes.
perfectly.
So
It's frustratingly
yes.
thematic.
I mean, there's madness, and you gain some. I mean, hello.
It made me angry, man.
I love the minute details. I mean, like, if you have Humpty Dumpty and he falls off the wall, you get a penalty for that.
Yeah,
This is
you
great.
get negative victory points if you either Humpty Dumpty loses a battle or if there's a certain score that you don't get, which is thematically perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good things that I think they did as far as theme goes. It's very entrancing.
The art's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to have to say, I do believe this is another 10 for us.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Again, this one is another one that pushes the boundaries, like the Merchants of the Dark Road. I almost have to give this an 11. I mean, again,
Yeah,
it's
so
especially since
good.
for me.
Well, right. I mean, it's a little biased over
Yeah.
there, but I mean, I like Alice too, but not to that degree. It's just everything's gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
to
chips
be
are
fair,
gorgeous,
we
the
have a
art's
whole
gorgeous.
room dedicated to Alice.
You do.
So
I don't, but it's just straight up gorgeous, and the mechanics fit the theme. It's a 10 for sure.
yeah, I can't wait to get these painted.
Yeah.
All right. So then let's move on to the rule book. I took a nap while you guys read the rule book. So
That never.
The rule book is
Happens all
24
the time.
pages long. It's really large print on it, which is really great.
Lots
I
of
mean,
pictures in
when
it.
we first sat down, we were like, well, we got to read and learn 24 pages. You know, it was going to take us a while. It's not. It's a quick read.
Uh-huh.
It's not that complex of a game when it comes down to it. And there's a ton of pictures. It's very visual. The layout of this is extremely well done. They give examples on two different battle scenarios to walk you through all the steps. They give you examples for how to score.
there's cheat sheets.
There's cheat sheets. There is a kind of a
Network.
logic flow diagram on the back of the rulebook, and there's a one side sheet for both of the different phases of the game. I mean, this rulebook is a 10. I mean, it's done. There's nothing I could say that it's missing. It's got a FAQ in the back, a glossary.
And we only found one grammatical error.
There was one typo.
One
it was
error.
like
So does that mean it's going to be a 9.9995?
no, I can overlook one typo.
Oh, okay.
It's a 10. I mean, it's one of the best rule books I've ever seen.
All right, so we're moving on to gameplay. So the gameplay is that there's a couple different mechanics that we are familiar with. If you guys have played Heaven and Ale, it uses that route to end up picking your chip. So basically, you start at the beginning of the track. Everyone
which is a tea party.
Yeah, which is the tea party, and everyone is moving down this unless you have a special player ability. But you'll go down. So the first player will choose a card, and everyone will choose a card, and you end up going around the table to be able to do that. But of course, they get more limited as people go up or down, and if you skip ahead, you have less ability. Yeah. But if you end up and you try to get you will get 4 cards around. But if you end up going at the end of the darting party and don't have anywhere to go, then you'll end up going to go at the beginning to go again. But in doing so, you'll roll the dice and get shards, which are negative victory points at the end of the game, as well as they will end up adding madness tokens to you if you get too many of them. If you have the most.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
It's maddening, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
There are other ways to get madness. You roll the die in different situations when you pick up certain cards. So cards that have are higher, they'll make you roll this, as well as some other things that.
And that die goes from 1 to 3 shards.
Yes.
And you're doing this basically as kind of a developmental phase for the war that's to come. So you're adding chips to your bag. You're getting. You've got a board that upgrades your board and lets you open up
placing your troops, which are basically fodder. They don't actually give you any strength. This is something that some of us didn't realize the first round. So these troops that you end up setting down, they are just fodder. They're literally life
They
points.
Just keep you in the battle.
Yeah, and they're almost like life points. Just consider them life points.
That's a good way of looking at it.
They're just life points, okay? Yeah. They have no strength to the battle.
Yeah.
Really, your battle will be these poker chips that will be going into that bag and drawing them out. So that's going to be your overall strength. So that is essentially the round robin function of that. Then it goes in the end of the T phase, which everyone gets a darkness. Whoever has the most of the shards gets a second darkness token to go in the bag. Those darkness tokens kill your troops. So basically they're the death. They reduce your health. And then you go into the different battles. So you pick one or wherever this is randomly rolled or something.
Well, it starts out at the beginning of the game. You always put it on the, what is it called? The red keep. Yeah, and then you roll the shard die, and if you move it clockwise around 1, 2, or 3 spaces from there.
But
that's where it starts. And then each round you'll roll it again and move it.
Yeah, so this is where the battling will start. So you'll go from area to area. And this, like I said, is an area control game / pressure luck. So area control is the fact that how many of your workers are here, those are your health points, and you're going to be drawing these tokens to hopefully beat your component either before they die or reach 25. Until you'll go around and keep doing that. Now, as you play your tokens, obviously they get exhausted, and there is a mechanism to refill your bag, and that's where your madness tokens come in. Once you become too mad, aka 4 of these tokens get played, you'll be able to clear out any of the exhausted tokens and put them into your bag back again, along with these darkness tokens. But
clearly, that's not giving you attack. So, it helps you reset the bag, but you're not doing any attacking at all.
Yeah.
Right, and we found later in the game, reaching 25 was a lot more... that's how you won versus in the early game, it was more about surviving the battle. So I do want to keep that. You do not have to play until you are all dead. You can choose to withdraw nothing, show nothing, and basically you're basically surrendering. You don't win, you don't lose. But in the fact that you don't lose, you get to use your tokens if they have special abilities at the end of that round. But you don't win any of the victory points. Victory points, obviously, for the different areas, most of them increase over the course of time because there are 3 rounds total. I think that's a general synopsis.
You can also help meet, by not completing the battle, you could meet conditions for these quest cards that you get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so there's 2 different parts to a quest card. You got what's called a feat and an end game. So the feat is like, at the end of the battle, do you meet X, Y, Z? Yes, great. You flip it over, and then at the end of the game, you get 3 points. But then it'll also look at something else, and it might say, all right, what do you have? Like for me, I had one card that said, do I have 4 of these tea party cards that have the requirement to roll the madness die? If I have 4 of those cards, then I get 3 more points. And there's a lot of different situations and scenarios that it looks for to be able to get those points.
And if you get both of the top and bottom of your quest card, then you actually get an additional 3. So the total card can be worth 9 victory points. And that really almost got me close.
It's just 3. Then
no,
3.
It's 3 and 3, and then a bonus of 3 if you got all.
Well, I would have got 3 more points then.
Okay.
And that's actually the end of the game. That's where I got most of my 24 points was based just on quest cards, and that was kind of where my focus was because goodness knows I wasn't going to win any battles. So,
well, you also left off with, if you win the battle, you get, not only do you get victory points, which change from round to round, but you also get to place a base in that location,
and that could be
castle, and it's worth 2 defense for the next time you play. So you basically get a little edge to keep that area.
I thought it was only 1.
Nope,
No,
2.
it's worth 2, and it's automatically going to be worth 3 victory points.
3 is a base, but you can
you can go up to 6.
Yeah, so there's definitely some things that go along with it. So strength does matter. So, yeah, I think that covers most of everything.
That's just about everything.
Yeah, that's about everything. We didn't talk about these special workers. They're also...
the Wonderlandians.
Wonderlandians. So there is a way to recruit some Wonderlandians, typically, again, at the Ditter Potter, but there are some people with special abilities. Like, for example, mine, I get a random 1 for the round if I opened up a special upgrade. So depending on your upgrades, and some of them are just tokens.
Yeah, some of them add chips to your bag.
Some are actually people with strength value.
Additional miniatures.
Or special abilities. So all that's kind of fun. So overall, what did you guys think about it? What was your favorite, least favorite and favorite?
Well, I did enjoy it. And I want to make sure I enjoyed it a lot, but it was very frustrating because it's a bag building. So there's a lot of luck based involved. And so unfortunately, I was getting a lot of the shards, which ended up giving me a lot of the madness tokens. And so because I had so many madness tokens, I had a very difficult time at about halfway through the game that I couldn't draw enough of the other chips to be able to do a good job in the battling. And so it became very frustrating and felt very swingy. But I mean, that's what you get for this type of game. It's luck based, it's bag building. You know, the luck didn't work out well for me this game, but I liked it a lot. So, I mean, overall, I can't give it anything less than a 9. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. All right, so there are 2 things in this that I don't like, and that's the area control and pressure luck, which is this game. It's just something I don't like. But I will say, I had fun watching you guys battle it out. So I liked the betting.
Well,
so
yeah,
something that we didn't mention is that when you weren't part of a battle, you got to bet and got additional
to see
chips.
who won.
Yeah, to see who won. So if you did, but if you lost the bet, then you actually got one of the negative shards, which again is a negative victory point at the end of the game. So, but with that, I think that was actually kind of a fun way to entertain people without going into the battle. So I thought that was a brilliant thing that they did there. I thought that was really great.
It keeps everybody engaged, so you don't feel like there's like downtime.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought that was very, very helpful. I will say there is a lot of strategy involved because it's like, okay, I focused on quest cards. I think there is a way just to win with quests and not even worry about the freaking this mess. I want to play that next round just doing that.
Right.
And if I wish I'd kind of known that kind of earlier in the game. But with that being said, being spread out, there's a lot of stuff going on. If Randy says, please, can we play this? I will play this again, even though these aren't the mechanisms that I enjoy because it was that good of a game. So if understanding that it's a pressure luck, understanding it's an area control, it is a 9. I agree with that assessment 100%. Those aren't my mechanisms that I enjoy. But with those mechanisms, this is definitely a 9 to a 10. I could see if some people told me it was a 10, I could understand that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But for me, again,
it's just a little too swingy for my taste. So I cannot go lower than a 9, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic. What are you thinking?
I was overjoyed with how well this was done. I was super impressed because, Quacks is okay. I've never, and that's basically what you compare the second half of the battle game to. The war is basically a competitive Quacks because normally Quacks you kind of play in a solo game and you bust or you don't bust of your own merit. Here they took that same mechanic and applied it in a way where you feel pressured to continue on because your opponent is continuing or you think they are. And there's victory points at stake with each one of these and getting to play that base is super important if that's your strategy to go for. Not to mention they incorporated the whole personal development board. I love that, and every character played so differently. And we just, there's the Jabberwock we haven't even tried yet. Yeah. And I'm super excited.
And there's like a lot more of the there are more chips?
The chips, they're the same, but
Okay.
they've taken them and they've given you 4 different bonuses, abilities for each one.
Okay, so there is definitely
there's
some
A,
variety.
B, C, and D, and we're playing with A, so you've got variability in those chips. So there's lots of
That's cool.
growth in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I will say everyone's different, but there wasn't a horrible imbalance.
No.
So whatever they did well in the fact, because there were moments where I'm like, oh, that was a really cool ability, but at the same time,
I felt it was a little imbalanced on my part.
What do you mean?
Well, because of me, I felt I drew the madness tokens non.
Oh, that's just bad luck. That's not unbalanced as far as your character ability.
Well, I don't know. It just seemed like my character ability didn't seem to be. I felt like your guys's, you and Caleb's, was really powerful.
Mine only came in useful a couple times during the game.
I
only rolled.
Now, I will say, your
shards.
one thing where you get to roll the shard thing, you did that.
Oh,
quite
that was a
bit.
special ability of unlocked. I had unlocked on my card. I didn't get that from the
Yeah,
default.
but there's nothing that I have that's similar.
Yeah,
to
I
that.
have nothing like that. So I don't think it's a huge balance issue, but I think there is some.
It wasn't as noticeable. Like, it wasn't huge noticeable.
There's some there.
I mean, because mine was all about being able to put chips back into my bag versus he's got to add strength. So, I mean, it's a very different thing, and hopefully it's more evil. Where, I was like, what? You keep rolling that stupid die. I'm getting over it, Because mine could only trigger at the end and only once, versus where I felt like he got to do it multiple times when he picked up stuff.
And
so maybe
Caleb
that's
kept
why I
giving
felt
me shards, and that stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, more power to him. He didn't give me any. I'm quite happy with it. So,
Thanks.
But in the end, I mean, you and I had very close scores. It wasn't like
because I focused on quests, right? So that was kind of nice. I was really pleasantly surprised by that, and I think at first I wasn't as forgiving on this game. I was like, man, there's just no way. But then when I got that close, I'm like, okay, so quests, there is another way to do this where you don't have to win every single one, and that helped alleviate some of my grumpiness towards the game.
I think this is definitely a 10. I mean, I was not expecting it to be this good. I mean, it was way better than I expected.
Yeah, I was concerned that it was like, okay, we bought this for the theme and we're never going to play it again. But I feel like
when I ordered it, I think when we did the video talking about our upcoming Kickstarters, I said I don't care if this game sucks because I'm going to love it anyway.
I remember that.
And now I'm like, all the better because it doesn't suck. It was really a good game.
And I agree, it is a really good game. I just wish there was some way to minimize the swings.
I mean, I think the thing is, if you play it again and maybe not get nearly as bad of luck, it might help a little bit.
The only drawback,
because you kept rolling 3s and you kept getting a bunch of you did not have good luck this go around, but that is part of the thing about pressure luck.
And I accept that. That's why I'm not going to go less than that.
It
is good.
The only drawback I see in this game is Sarah really likes Quacks of Quedlinburg, and I never did really care for it that much. And now I'm really not going to want to play it because this one replaces it for me.
And I think this might be a little bit too much for Sarah.
This is definitely not. I think, especially since there is attack type.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not really attacking each other per se. But
I mean, I felt frustrated. I can imagine what a 8-year-old girl would feel like getting attacked.
So I mean, all of this is the first game I have given 10s across the board, really.
One thing I think would be interesting. I wonder if maybe we just didn't look into it. Are there other parts? Are there variants or something in the game that you haven't seen yet?
No, the only variant is the 2-player has differences.
I'm just wondering because the voting part and betting is kind of interesting, but I wonder if maybe that's something they'll grow into. Is if you bet, there might be cards where you could play when it's not your turn to help. All right, I'm voting for Randy. I'm gonna play his card to give him an advantage.
So that would be a great, interesting expansion pack.
Yeah, it'd tick you off because what if I play a card for Randy and it hurt you? You'd be like, that's crap.
Yeah, but then overall you're giving him victory points, right? So you may end up, even though you may think you might win, you might try to hurt him because he's winning the game.
Right.
I think it would be very
interesting.
I think it would be interesting. I think it would be very, very attacky. I think I might end up hurting people. But I think it would... But honestly, if you look at an expansion pack around the betting process... Yeah. I think
there's a lot of room to grow in that.
I think there's a lot of room to grow with that. I think that keeps it interesting. And I also think you're not just going to place random places.
Right.
You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to focus on 2 areas. I'm going to see what I can do because, I want to be able to vote on these other things to build myself up. because that's all about the betting, right? I might gain, but I
So,
might
yeah,
lose.
I really like the betting part of it too, and that's why I just think maybe if we could just maybe something a little bit later because I'm going to spend them on that because I think that part was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really
So
like the betting
hey, whoever designed this, your expansion, we come up with some ideas.
Well,
man.
what I also think is I like the fact that with that betting is, I may be really trying to go for one of my personal goals.
Right.
And I may be looking like I'm trying to compete in this battle, but I'm really not. I'm just in
Right,
there
like
in it
Right.
to get my goals and get out.
Well, it's like you put all these people there and then you bowed out, and I'm thinking, why did you do that? I was surprised I won because it was 12 points, and the fact that you basically was like, oh, I got my quest thing, and that's all I really
It's
wanted.
because I thought I was completing 2 personal goals that gave me 9 points each by doing the bowing out. As it turns out, I miscounted and miscalculated, so I didn't do as much. I should probably stayed in, but it also set up my chips better for the other coming battles.
Right, and that's the other piece of it. There is a little bit of, I need to stop now because if not, then the next thing, the thing I really want is going to be messed up.
Because you'll have less chips in your bag or the ones you're going to pull out are going to suck.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that. I mean, I remember there was one point I reached my bag, knew that there was 5 in there and 3 of them were bad. So it's like,
I'm done.
I'm done. This is a little bit,
right.
This is too much pressure luck. So, there's that kind of thing. But then I also don't think I will feel as bad about setting this off like I was at the beginning of the game, realizing, it was just a triggering mechanism. Because I know.
Well, I think that's one thing we didn't even really talk about is the forging. We didn't really talk about that, did we?
But we touched it, I guess. So one of the
that's a really awesome part of this.
Yeah, so it's basically unlocking. Yeah, it's basically opening up your game board. So basically, if you do the forging token, it's only worth 1. But if you're
on a forge space in the battle track.
So basically, you can take one of your tokens. It does not have to be a forging token. For example, I did my level 1 that didn't have any special abilities. Right. I was like, I can get rid of these and it's okay. But then you can put them on the thing and you get special stuff. Like you can strengthen your person. You can make your
base is worth more.
Base is worth more. You can get units. 8 grades. Yeah, you can get more units.
Rid of shards.
So it's basically upgrading your person. Yeah. So that's actually.
And that's where I focused most of my energy was doing those upgrades because I love personalized boards and trying to upgrade it. You've got 2 types of upgrades on there. You've got the forging, which upgrades your tokens for your bag and also unlocks your level 3s. And then you've got 4 different upgrades for your leader that you can do. Yeah. Not to mention a third one, which is the leader getting strength.
Yeah.
Because you can level it up to a level 6 strength for your leader, which I did quickly in this game. And that gave me a distinct advantage in the battles, which, there's nothing bad about this game that I can think of at all. I think this is the perfect game for me. I mean, it is absolutely what I would look for if I'm trying to incorporate all those aspects. I'm glad somebody thought to put all of those things together into this type of game because I would not have thought of it.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant.
It's a home run for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast. I think we found Randy's new favorite game.
I think so.
Or at least
it's definitely a contender. I mean, it's too early to tell as far as. Yeah. But I love this game.
It's in the running for 2022.
Yeah, it's definitely in the running for 2022. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys later. Bye. Bye. All right, so Randy won this time around by 1 single point. Just one. And so now he gets to make up rules on how Wonderland is going to be ran. So, Randy,
well, first of all, he's the new ruler of Wonderland.
I want to point out that I am a benevolent ruler, so I'm going to be kinder and gentler than the previous regime.
Okay.
So, first of all,
Red Queen.
Yeah.
Rule 1, all days are going to be game days. Obviously.
That's already a thing.
No, not quite, but almost, yes.
It's pretty
Universal Dr. Pepper. Everyone gets Dr. Pepper.
That doesn't help me at all.
We're going to have all modern pop music.
Hey! Yep. I'm not following these rules. You're going to put me in prison.
The previous card royalty that led Wonderland is now going to be exclusively used to play bridge. And my final rule is everyone wants to refer to me as the supreme overlord of all time and space. So if you all can follow those rules from now on, that would be great.
Got it. And if we don't?
Well, then you're going to be excised from the Wonderland, obviously.
So, but you're not going to offer heads like
Well,
the
no, I
people?
don't do that kind of thing. I hire people for that.
Well, I can tell you right now, it ain't gonna happen. So have fun with that one. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.